All right, so let's start in PowerPoint so that you can actually see how you would set up a template for use in the system. So the way that you actually set a template up is with what we call variables. So this double curly brace syntax, which you may have seen in other tools as well if you've ever done anything like email marketing, basically indicates to our system that this is a spot where you would like content to be regularly updated. So this is a part of the presentation that changes. So for example, the date field might be something that you update every time you use this for a new meeting. By the way, what we're looking at here is digital marketing firm's strategy template. So that's the example that we're going with, but you might not have these exact set of fields in your own template. If I keep going, you can see that we can work with any type of shape within PowerPoint. So object 1, object 2, object 3 are all variables embedded within this shape, and you can really do whatever it is that you want, okay? So something that you'll notice, and we'll talk about this as I go through the demo of the actual system, is that when you have shapes with a limited width, a limited height, not as open-ended, as maybe your typical text box, you will want to specify to the system, we only need 2 words here. We only need 3 words. So that's how you set a template up, and now we'll switch over so you can have a look at PropPilot and see how we take this template and actually use it with the AI generator. Okay, so now we are actually logged in and ready to go with PropPilot, which, as you can see, you can find at platform.LLeMental.com. LLeMental is with 2 L's instead of EL. And we are looking at the dashboard as if we are a brand new user here. So the first thing that you have to do is actually grab the PowerPoint file. Again, we just looked at that. That's filled out with all of your variables. So I'm going to hit choose file, and you can see that I grabbed the RFP shell PowerPoint that we were just looking at. So this template name, I'm going to call it digital marketing shell, and then you can give it a description. So I'm just going to keep it short and sweet and say this is a template for selling consulting services. So I will hit submit, and it should just take a second. What it's doing now is processing our file, and you can see we are taken to another screen that says let's configure the template. And the way that you actually fill this out is first you can give high-level template instructions, but the most important thing is to go through and specify which of these individual variables should be AI generated. So for example, the URL, I probably actually want to enter on my own, and then giving a description of each field. So I'll pause the video while I fill all of these fields out, just so you don't have to watch that, and then resume once we make it to the next step. Okay, so now that I have filled out all of these variables, all I have to do is save the template, and this should just take a second here, and now you can see that our dashboard has actually updated with the template that we just created, which we called digital marketing shell. So now that we have our digital marketing shell set up, anytime we have another RFP come in, anytime we have another meeting that we need this template for, all we have to do is provide either meeting minutes or the URL or an Excel file or whatever it may be, provide the relevant background context to this specific version of the template that you want to generate, and it will fill out all of the fields for you. And the nice thing about AI is that it doesn't get tired, so you can have it do it as much as you want. So I'm going to click generate, and you can see that we are prompted for a few things here. So one is the background context. That's sort of the most important piece. And the other ones are those fields that when we were setting up the template, we said these should not be AI generated. We will enter these manually. So we can just grab that file. So I'll grab my Bridgetown meeting minutes here. We'll upload that. And then for the client URL, I'll just make this up. Apologies if there's a real bank under this name out there, but we'll say bridgetown.bank. So what I'm going to do is hit generate here. And now, obviously, this is not an instant process. There's some thinking from the model that we're speaking with involved, but it's pretty quick. And once the template is actually generated, you can see we get brought to this file generated screen. We get a quick explanation from the AI assistant, and most importantly, we can download the file. Okay, so now that we are in PowerPoint, let's take a look at what we generated. So if you take a look at this slide, everything except for the client URL was AI generated from that background info. It was kept in the precise exact format that you had in your shell. So if we go down to number 4, you can see we kept within our 40-word suggestion here and our 4-word objectives, again, based on the meeting minutes. If we wanted to try this again with some different lengths of content, that would be very easy to do as well, and so on throughout the rest of the presentation. So that's sort of the general idea of the system. If you are someone that routinely targets PowerPoint for presentations, meetings, responses to RFPs, whatever it might be, if you've got a library of templates or even one that you're spending a lot of time, we've got a client that said that they're spending 80 hours every 6 months on tasks like this. We can take a lot of that time away. So hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and please reach out or go to platform.LLeMental.com to sign up for your trial today. Thanks a lot.